Hey everyone, I'm back with video number 110 of 365. I'm Samantha and I'm a therapist, and I'm doing a video every day for a year to get over my fear of public speaking and social anxiety. And I'm here to help you shift your self-concept today. So let's shift your consciousness a little bit today. Let's remember that we've got to break the habit of being ourselves. And you are not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing to fix. There is only a shift of consciousness that we have to do to start to feel better. It's not about changing who you are or for the reason of you're broken. No, it's to become the best version of you that you want to become, the best potential of you that you want to have and become. So really think about, how am I addicted to the old self? Am I thinking the old self's thoughts or the new self's thoughts? And if I had a new self, what would he or she think about dominantly? What would he or she feel? How would she or he act? All of those things. What would they dress like? What would they talk like, walk like, think like, breathe like, all of it? What would their hobbies be? Maybe anything and everything. Just think about that. How would that differ from how you're behaving today and how you're thinking today? And really get in touch with that. Because when you decide who you want to become, then you're going to start aligning behaviors with that identity instead of aligning the behaviors that you currently do with the old self. So it's just a shift in awareness of, first of all, what am I aware of? That's the first thing to really notice. What am I actually aware of in my world? Am I aware that I don't have any money? Am I aware that I don't have a partner? Am I aware that I have weight I want to get, off my body? What are you most aware of? Because whatever you're aware of will persist. So logically, if that's true, logically, if we're aware of something else, then we will magically, quote, magically, be feeling and seeing that and becoming that, even though we can't see it yet. And that's the kicker. It's like we see everything in our 3D reality as it is. But we forget that we've got this other, multiple realities, infinite possibilities to choose from. We just have to select the one that we're wanting instead of letting the old self come back and dictate what it is that we're getting, what it is that we're feeling. We are outsourcing our power every time we look to the 3D, every time, because that's just old news. That's already old manifested thoughts, let's say. It's already done. It's already manifested. All we have to do is create this vision and stick to that vision. And remember that anything else does not matter. All that matters is our vision that we're going towards. That's the only thing that we need to worry about. And have fun and play with it. Play with this end scene that you can create in your imagination. What would that end scene look like? How would I be living and feeling and acting and everything? How would I be if I were already living in that particular reality that I'm thinking about creating? And so then you just kind of pretend that you're there in your mind. And you can do this with your eyes closed, of course. And then your goal now is to get in that mindset, get in that state, feel it with your eyes closed, and then open your eyes and stay in that feeling. Stay in that scene, even though you can't see it out here. You can see it in here and feel it in here. And that's the goal, to hold that feeling, to catch the feeling and then hold that state. That's the goal. So that is the challenge as a human, to do that, because we see everything outside of us that says, nope, that's not actually happening. This is actually happening. And then it's our job to say, nope, I'm not going to believe that. I'm going to believe this instead, because this is what I choose to believe instead, because this is what I want for myself. And it's like this, you gotta practice this over and over, because your mind will go back to default settings every single time until you program a new program in. And this can be done instantaneously. There are people that do this all the time. They change their identity and boom, they have this quantum leap and they're there. And that really is true that we can do that. I just don't think that a lot of us believe that. So the goal is to start believing that, because it's a lot less work to get there. And so I think as humans, we like to kind of almost drag things out because we like the drama of it all. We just like to learn the hard way for some reason, which is a belief that we can shift at any time. We don't have to believe that everything is hard. You can believe everything is easy. You just have to start telling yourself that no, I believe that this is easy. No, my life can be easy, and it is easy, and it's always been easy. If we start talking like that instead of the old way that we talk to ourselves, that's when you'll notice a huge shift in yourself. I promise you. You just have to keep practicing it. It's like overriding it's like almost like you're thinking a thought and then you take an eraser on a pencil and you just erase it. It's kind of like that. And then you write over it. You're doing that every time you overwrite a old thought. It's like you just erase it and you write over it, and that's it. And so you just do that over and over and over, because if not, your brain is going to say, no, we've always thought this way. And I've had a few clients that have said that, and I told them this before too, that it's like you can almost feel your brain trying to go the old route when you're trying to change it to the new route. You're like trying to change it on the GPS, and it's like, no, we want to go left. And you're like, no, we're going right this time. And it's almost like you can feel it trying to pull you that way. It's so strange how that works. But you've got to just gently guide yourself away from the hot stove. Like I've said, you don't want to touch the hot stove, and you definitely don't want to sit on it. You want to just gently guide yourself away and start thinking the better feeling thoughts. Even if it's 1% better, you just start gently talking to yourself. Say, nope, this is the way that I want to be from now on. This is how I want to think. This is how I want to feel. And you just align with that. And that means you act in congruence with the new identity, which means you take on the characteristics, the behaviors, the feelings, the thoughts that person would have if you were that person. Start thinking about, how would I feel if I had all the money that I wanted, and the person that I want, and the job that I want, the house I want, everything that you're wanting. How would I feel if I actually had those things? We only want things because we think we're going to feel better when we have them. And so when I finally realized that, I was like, that's so cool, because we expect that we're going to just life will be, immaculate and amazing and perfect if I just have this person in my life. And no, sir. That's whenever all of your stuff comes up when you're in the intimate relationship. There's nothing better to bring you down to your knees and figure this stuff out than the intimate relationship. It will bring up every wound you've ever thought that you had, and it'll bring up every wound that you forgot that you had. So, and it'll just, I don't know, it just brings up literally everything for you to practice, I think, just being your authentic self. I really do think that's what it is. And so, because you'll notice that you date the same people over and over, or you marry the same people over and over. They have the same issues, or you feel the same with them because you haven't changed. And so it's all about changing the self, becoming the best version you can be of yourself. And so, if you just change your consciousness, change your focus, am I being my old self? Am I being addicted to this old self, this old way of thinking? Because if we're thinking this old way, we're still firing and wiring the same neurons in the brain that we did yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. We're still turning on the same genes. We're still turning on the fight or flight mode inside the body, and now we're stressed. We're doing the same thing. We're recreating yesterday today, where it feels like Groundhog Day every single day, because we haven't changed inside. We haven't shifted inside. So remember, if you take away one thing from this video, we want to break the habit of being ourselves, like Joe Dispenza says. You got to break that habit of thinking the way that you think all the time, and start transforming into, okay, we're gonna be this new person. So how would I feel if I had this? And really think about, how would you feel? How would you think? What are you doing now that you should stop doing and possibly replace? instead of thinking badly about yourself every day, what's one thing that you could stop doing? Like maybe you think 5 thoughts that are bad about yourself. Okay, let's let go of one of them today. Let's just decide we're not going to think that way anymore. Or you decide in general, hey, we're not going to think that way at all anymore. We're going to replace it with, no, I'm this way now. I started doing that. I was like, no, I'm this way now. Nope, I'm not going to think that way. I'm going to think this way now. You literally can do that so easily if you will just practice it. And so you just do it over and over again, or you can quantum leap in one quantum leap. You can just decide, nope, I'm this now, and that's it. But we're human, and we're going to have a human experience. We're going to have feelings. And so I think it's really important to get in touch with what you're thinking and feeling, because yes, we can manifest at any point in time, but I think it's so much more valuable if we know what we're feeling and thinking, and we just kind of get to know who we are as humans and as a spiritual being as well. And then that way you can learn how to be your authentic self, be your true self, and live the most joyous life ever when you're actually being yourself and you're not scared to take your masks off, and you're just able to think from joy and love instead of from force and control and scarcity and lack and panic, all those things that we try to create from. There's just not enough, in my opinion, there's not enough power there. We want to like supercharge our power to manifest everything that we want. We want to supercharge it, not try to produce things from a lack mindset. We want to be an abundance mindset. We want to think about abundance. What do you have in abundance? Even if you have an abundance of lack, you still have abundance. That's what's so cool about abundance. It's everywhere. There's plenty of oxygen to breathe. Everybody's got that, at least. So, and you got a bunch of brain cells. I know you do. Even if you think you don't, you do. They're growing every moment. We're getting more of them. So just take care of yourself, which means take care of your thoughts. What are you thinking about? Just keep in touch with where's your mind going and where can I direct it on purpose to start thinking better for myself, and know that you deserve best for yourself instead of what you've always gotten. So it's just break the habit of being your old self, and you'll start to transform into your new self really quickly. I promise. Just practice. Just practice, practice, practice. And I will be back tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. If this helped you in any way, please share it with somebody who might need to hear it. And please like and subscribe. And I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.